It is a world of darkness, and the warriors of Gaia fight over the fate of the world against their enemy, the cosmic force of entropy and corruption, the worm. Unbeknownst to mankind, they wage a war against the coming apocalypse, with new cubs taking up the cause to fight with fang, clave, and gun and claw. They give the worm no quarter. They give it only rage.
Even as the bitter cold tears at you, as the blizzard rages on for what has been a couple of days now, you stand at the precipice looking down over the mine, its vast expanse covering several hundred feet. The smells on the wind are difficult to catch. Everything too frostbitten and chilled to leave anything more than the scent of fresh air in your nostrils. There is, however, a faint smell of the pines, which undercuts the bitter frost wind, dirt and snow beneath you biting into your exposed flesh. Any flesh which is exposed for those still in Hamid is red and feels as though it's burning just from the cold. Any in the Krynos, Hispo, or Lupus find that the cold is bearable, if unpleasant. The howl of the wind ever present, you look over the mine, which clearly is no simple operation. Something foul breeds here. The scene is yours.
As she looks down at the mine, she would say, "We need to get down there, see what we can find on this operation, because this is not good. There's no way we're letting some fucking Pentex subsidiary get their hold here." She looks then over to Dave. "Hey Dave, that satellite needs computers, right?"
Dave, holding back a whimper, would look down, seeing his own mortality strewn out before him, knowing full well what the hell he's looking at, or at least to some degree, as he nods somberly. That it would be. We need a plan, though.
If there are computers, maybe we can find out what exactly they're doing here, or what exactly that thing is, she says, looking over to the big black.
Dave looks over to the big black thing and says, "That's D."
Well, if you don't that is not a very
Dave,
kind thing
shut
to
up.
say.
Darren looks back towards the egg and just looks at it. Something's familiar about it.
I think that what we should do is we're going to be splitting up into two groups. Me, Dave, and Snarls looking for the computers. But if something goes wrong and the guards start getting suspicious of people who are messing with the computers, Darren and Dee, I think you two might be best to find a way to create some sort of distraction. Not expose yourself, but just something to draw their attention away.
I'm seeing a lot of lights on the edge leading down. Maybe we break one of those. Bound to see that, right?
They are all pointing towards the egg.
OC. Nylan, with Lightning Calculator, would I be able to find in this encampment enough dynamite to cause a landslide to submerge the egg?
If you could find enough dynamite, you might be able to, especially with the blizzard, cause an avalanche. You would need minimally 300 pounds of TNT.
Is that for the whole cavern?
Yeah.
I would look to Snarls and say, "Do you know any sort of, spirits that could, bring down that side of the mountain onto that egg?
I mean,
Is that even possible?"
perhaps, but I don't think we should be communicating with any spirits.
No, the Banes might be able to sense it.
Exactly. I think we should leave our gifts and spirit-speaking capabilities to rest for now.
Agreed. If they can hear us, yeah, that's a good idea.
After doing that quick calculation, I look back down at the egg. Guys, remember that dream I had the other night?
Yeah.
Darren points at it. Black monolith.
I got a feeling that's what it was.
There aren't just Banes around, there are gonna be black spirals too. Be on your guard. And any guards here, Nylan, could I see around with wolf sight and see those 3 patrols?
Go ahead and roll a perception investigation.
I walk up to D and mumble, "We all get out of this, or none of us do."
Yeah, so what?
I'm just saying, keep your eye on Darren. We don't need him getting himself killed.
I've been keeping my eye on him for a long time. Don't you worry.
Darren, you can see that there are people patrolling the camp itself, though vastly fewer than anyone else that's at those patrol perimeters. They seem to be moving between outposts at those 3 points. And the patrol seems to go all around the entirety of the way down to the egg. Multiple patrols.
And the outposts they're going between, they're not very big, they're just like stopping points so that they can warm themselves up, right?
Stopping points, fixed positions, you're not entirely sure. You're counting about 5 patrols. You can see by the headlights.
Got you. Also, did I hear what Dave and Dee were saying, or was I too fixated on what I was looking at?
You heard very much like a word here or there.
Could I have heard my name?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you probably picked your name out.
After looking at that, I turned my head to the 2 of them. You saying something?
Yeah, we're talking about what we gonna do with you. Because you kind of the big cannon here. You feel?
Talk to me, not about me. I'm a member of the
Oh,
pack.
Timon.
We all know that Darren here is the best fighter, but honestly, right now, this place, we shouldn't be getting into any kind of fight. If there are black spirals, if there are Fomori, and if there are hundreds of Banes surrounding this place.
Tara's right. Those patrols are only like 5 of them. They got 3 outposts around. In a site this big, only having 5 guys around, especially this important of a thing, they're gonna have silver bullets. They're gonna know we're here. Servants of the worm, they're gonna know how to kill us.
I whispered to everyone, I wish we could get in contact with the Wendigos without getting killed. If only they'd listen.
Yeah, we can worry about that after we've found out what we can here.
Think of it like an extra part of the rite.
And brothers are remarkably good at being stubborn.
She looks to, Darren. You think you see anything that could be used as a distraction if we get found out?
He looks to D, and then looks back to Tara. Could cause an avalanche. Find enough TNT, we can bring this whole place down. Though, I mean, it's a lot of TNT.
We can probably carry a little bit.
What about finding enough?
I mean, this big, they got at least 100 pounds somewhere around here.
Finding it would prove its own dangers, but things that we need to keep in mind. She looks to Snarls and Dave. While we try looking for whichever building down there has the computers, we also need to keep a lookout for any, I don't know if this place is, extra guards going between the buildings, or cameras or alarms. That she briefly pauses and looks to Snarls. Do you know what cameras are?
I mean, it's like the thing we saw earlier, right?
Yeah.
Then I guess, yeah.
They're essentially these small boxes that people can watch what you do through and can alert them to your presence. I'm not sure if there are any down there, but just in case, so you know what to look out for. Now, it's probably going to be best and easier for us to move around without drawing any attention to ourselves in a smaller form, like Lupus.
Looks like I'm good to go then.
Yeah. Where'd you guys' clothes go?
Stashed them by a tree not too far away from you, don't you worry.
Yeah, turns back to D. Hey, show me where you stashed your stuff. I'll turn over there too. Better keep the clothes, no point in wasting them. Yeah.
We'll be back in 5. If we ain't, either come looking for us or get the fuck out.
Yeah, if we aren't, you'll know.
I ain't leaving you.
You have jobs to do, the 3 of you. I'm not gonna be here to protect you anyway. Let's get started.
He gives a nod with his head, as if like gesturing, come on, let's go. And then starts trotting off to where he stashed his clothes, not too far away from here. Nice little grove of trees. By a bush.
Darren keeps a very good eye on the surroundings in case there's another patrol coming near them.
D will do the same.
So D and Darren are going somewhere to stash clothes really quickly, and the others are...
For a moment, I'm just gonna have a look down and see if there's any activity or movement between the buildings.
Perception alertness.
Is there any wires going from the satellite dish to maybe a building?
From the distance you're at, that's a lot to ask for. Tara, as far as you can tell, the shapes are really just black and white splotches on the slowly darkening sky. You can't really discern any distinctive movement, especially with the wind blowing as hard as it is. Hell, gusts of snow are going all over the place. Though, to be fair, it does make it easier for you to sneak around, too.
Tara says over to Snarls. Hey Snarls, I don't know if there's any movement between the buildings in that camp, but you're the best here at sneaking and you've got a good eye. So I think it's best for you to lead the way and let us know when it's safe to go.
Snarls would nod.
I look to Snarls and say, I believe in you.
Looking to Tara, Snarls would say, so to the camp then?
She would nod.
OC, would I know if peering into the Umbra would alert Bane?
Anything at all which would require gnosis risks discovery from Banes, and if there are black spirals, any of them which may be sensing for you.
Okay.
Out of character, is there any way for us to mask our scent?
I mean, there's a whole lot of snow and a blizzard.
So it should be okay?
It'll make things a lot fucking harder.
Okay.
Okay. Snarls would look around their surroundings, mainly at the camp, to see if he'd see movement of any of the guards or anything out of the ordinary.
Perception alert. There is some movement in the camp. Not as heavy as the patrols around the mine. You doubt there's more than maybe 5 people wandering the entirety of the camp.
Would they seem to be guards?
Too far away to tell.
Okay. Snarls would gesture to the rest of the group to follow him. Currently, where would we be standing?
You're pretty much on the hillside looking down.
Would there be any way to cover ourselves while heading towards the camp?
Snow-covered trees, branches creaking in the blizzardish winds, the bushes and shrubbery which are painted white, or many of which are missing any and all leaves. And if you dig under the snow enough, plentiful amounts of dirt.
Snarls would start to lead the group, staying on the far side to avoid getting seen, noticed, or passing the guards. And then using the wall to hide behind and taking another look to see if he'd see anything else.
The 3 of you roll dex and athletics as you descend this rather steep ridge.
Me too? Oh yeah, I'm there with you.
Just before Tara starts moving, she would look to Dave and just say to him, hey, we're all counting on you to be able to get into those computers. I would say go make your ancestors proud, but well, you're a glasswalker, so just... I know you got this one, man, okay? Don't let us down.
I look around and lean in and whisper, I'm gonna make my mom proud.
Let's just get down there, Dave.
The 2 of you, following Snarls' example, begin to proceed down the ridge, frankly more akin to mountain goats than wolves, leaping from cropping to cropping, where there's enough foothold for each of you to land with your weight balanced before moving to the next. Occasionally, using your front paws to kind of slide you down as the back ones put up some resistance. It's a slow, steady decline. Snarls actually doing it a little freakishly naturally. Goes to show what a natural-born wolf can do. Tara, taking a bit of inspiration from Dave, begins to imitate the shimmy, the pounce, the bounding from outcropping to outcropping. She very quickly begins to make her way down. Dave has a slight slip, taking his time, being a little unsure, occasionally adjusting the weight of his paws, reaching out and seeing if he can reach the next outcropping with a paw before jumping to it. You know, taking things with the caution a human might approach things with.
I lightly whisper, "Slow and steady wins the race. Don't break your leg. Don't land on your face."
Fair. Snarls, on the other hand, well, he gives a very quiet as he misses his footing and nearly goes tumbling down the ridge. Tara, luckily nearby, manages to bite down on the back of his pelt at the base of the neck. There's a bit of more scruff and give and help haul him back up onto an outcropping.
After that, could I look around to see if anyone realized or noticed them?
I'm pretty sure Tara did. Dave, he might have been a little too preoccupied with I can brush the edge of it. Just maybe if I put my foot here and I didn't have to jump. Human brain. Fuck you, mountain. Looks at the rest of the way down. Fuck. Go ahead and roll again. Tara, Snarls, make steady, fast progress, bounding in silence as wolves stalking prey. They leap, run, and occasionally slide a bit down the hill, making a steady, quick progress side to side so that they don't veer too much in a single direction. Dave, he's trying to reach an outcropping. His paw grazing it. He puts his full weight down and whoop! His front and back, his front paws between his rear legs. He is skidding down the mountainside with the snow, the only thing keeping the ridged rocks from clipping his balls off. The two of you see him go woo! Past you an instant before you realize, oh shit, that's Dave.
Fuck, Dave, why?
Can I, oh shit.
Starting with you, Dex and Athletics, to see if you can save yourself from going face first down the ridge, probably gaining a lot of speed.
Can we
right to the floor?
Can we help grab him?
Yes, actually, if you want to, that will your successes will add to his strength athletics. Yes, Dave does pretty good on slowing himself down. He begins to push his weight back. He lifts his paws kind of out to his side. He kind of looks like a cartoon coyote trying to slow himself down on a fall from a precipice. He sees a branch of an old tree kind of growing out of the ridge side, and he decides to just go wolf brain at this point, biting the branch as hard as he can. He, for a moment, his back swishes off the edge of the ridge before slamming him back against it as he dangles there. The two of you managing, after a minute, to make it by his side. Snarls biting the back of the extra bit of fur and flesh at the base of his neck. Then Tara joining and helping haul him up onto an outcropping. Thankfully, saving him from where he started to the rest of the way, about 45 foot slam straight into the floor.
I look up and mutter, I guess I must have transferred into two left paws.
Snarls will just shake.
How far away are we from the thing?
Not too far away, maybe 20 feet.
Okay.
Meaning, one final roll.
Alright.
I can just imagine the other two members of the pack looking down like, Did they just choose to climb down a fucking steep ridge? Yes. Okay.
Why couldn't we just walk around the path?
Can I? Oh god, do I really want to use a wits? Sorry, willpower.
We still have an entire fucking thing to go through.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just gonna raw dog.
The three of you managed to descend, Tara taking a slight bit longer, mostly because she's now following Dave like a mother hen ready to catch the chick before it drowns itself. But he's doing pretty good. He's managing to somewhat keep up with Snarls and just follow his pace. That's good. The three of you making it down look up at the ridge, which was a little over 100 feet tall, but, you know, fuck it. We did it. And you begin to skulking down lower, wolves properly stalking, move through the dense amounts of snow and heavy blizzard winds towards the windbreaker. Meanwhile, Darren, D, what's going on with the two of you as you go back to where the rest of your pack was and see not only are they gone, they chose to do things the hard way, particularly, God forbid, you hit a ridge.
Darren's just gonna, like, when he gets them in his sight, just kind of, like, tilt his head like a confused pup and, what?
D will slowly look to him with the same head tilt.
Darren looks to D and looks back at the pack. His head's still exactly tilted in the exact same angle.
That's one way to do it. Fuck.
God did not bless them with wisdom. Anyway, hey, did you see any, patrols around?
I didn't really get much of a chance to see. Here, let me see if I can spot anything. I'd like to check for patrols.
That's what I.
Perception and alertness. Both of you can see some movement within the camp. You'd wager maybe 4 or 5 people, maybe 1 or 2 extra that just ain't in sight. Most of the patrols, however, are the groups, the 5 of which circle the mine proper, going between the outposts. And then there's the Banes, but you don't really feel like checking in on them.
Hey, D, you think they checked for camp dwellers before jumping down?
I hope so.
Well, I don't think we should kill any guards. They're probably gonna check in on the radios. They'll know something's up immediately. Let's...
Stick a time bomb.
Yeah. Looking around, can I see anywhere... I'm like, I grew up around logging camps. I might know something about where, not explosives particularly, but equipment is stored, which hopefully has explosives.
Go ahead and roll a perception investigation. You can make out to the far right that that is a massive fucking truck. And rule is with these shits, you don't want to have to move things very far when you're loading shit up. So that's a possibility. The other hand is the major buildings that you're seeing, not exactly the sturdiest thing on God's green earth. Something like this, especially with as many guards as they have, they definitely want some kind of security office or something that they keep close by to everything in a somewhat central position. That's about the most you can really get from it off of land.
And that's the truck we saw being hauled in that through the village.
Nope.
This is just a full-on semi.
Yep, big ass fucking 18-wheeler with a trailer.
Cool. Hey, I mean, if we're gonna go for my dynamite idea, you see that building by the truck?
I got you.
That, That's obviously going to be where they pick up and put down supplies, both loading and offloading, because you don't want to trek through all this bull for moving stuff. It could be mining equipment. It could also just be the ore that they were getting. It could also be... you know the guys in the camp that I saw? Were they sent, like, did I see any guards around any specific building, or were they just patrolling?
Just patrolling.
I couldn't see any pattern.
Not really.
Can you see any guard position? I can't make out if they're guarding any building specifically. Because if they were, that would probably be like the security office, where they probably hold all their bombs and stuff.
I ain't see anything like that, brother.
Damn. Truck might be our best bet. Except maybe that big-ass building, but... Nylan, what's the trajectory of my pack? Like, are they falling towards a building? Like, nearest building, or...?
Right now, they're going towards the windbreak.
Okay. But, like, near the southern edge of the windbreak, or just through the windbreak?
That's up to them. They haven't really said yet.
Oh, I thought they were just tumbling. Fair enough. Oh, wait, no, they're not. Anyway. And there aren't any... all the patrols are centered around the lower mine. There aren't any coming up towards the road or anything that I can see, at least, yeah?
No, nothing coming up the road.
And besides the road, it's just open field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, silver fur helps.
That it
Question.
does, as long as you stay out of the green sodium lights which are flooding the area.
Nylan, I have a question. I used to sneak around these places a lot as a kid, considering, Dad going from job to job, or at least these kinds of places. Would I be able to figure out a good way to sneak down without having to worry about too many potential people spotting? I know a good way, but I want to see if D does.
What's the
All right.
stealth? Honestly, the ridge is a pretty good route, just for the fact of who the fuck is going to think you're stupid enough? And it's the one position they're going to have the least eyes on, because it's a natural barrier.
Perfect.
The other way would be from, well, if you go up the road, that's where they're going to have the most eyes. Going from the woods would take the longest, but not have as many, though it does get you pretty close to the patrols. And then there's the ridge line around that patch of woodland on the left there, which would be the easiest to sneak down. And fuck, even if you fell, odds are of them hearing you through the blizzard and the woodlands, it's pretty slim.
I used to sneak around these places as a kid a lot. So here's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be a little tricky, but I think we can get there. See that pack of trees over there?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking. Go around the edge until we hit a nice natural decline, right? Go down that natural decline and start moving through the trees. We use the trees as cover and the wall at our backs give us even more cover. Go through there, go around, and we should be able to get onto one of the outposts.
What, so climb
we get-
down this massive cliff like the others did?
No. The way they did it ain't the right way. There's a couple good ways that are potentially capable of getting down. Another way is going around to the natural decline here, but that would bring us to the road where they definitely aren't patrolling. But then we can use the ridge as cover. But then we got that big open field right in between the building and the road. That's a perfect spot to get spotted. And try to do that.
Yeah, no. Well... yeah, I want to get there quick. I want to be able to cause a distraction in case they need it soon. Because, looking down at the pack, and, will this be about the time when Dave took a tumble?
You could probably say this is about when you see one of them going.
Boink, 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 boink.
Yeah, I trust your way better. And, they're gonna need a distraction soon.
Yeah. You know, them's remarkably good at making some not great decisions. Hey, let's go before I get a hernia.
Yeah. Or frostbite.
Yeah.
That'll be where we have our first intermission. I will ask very briefly, just so I know. The three, where are you headed first, and how?
I assume it's towards the right of the windbreak.
Sure. Since we're technically closer, can I see any wires?
Can we see any patrols?
Perception alert. Dave, the moment you start trying to look for wires, there's too much snow billowing around that you're trying to keep out of your goddamn eyes. As it is, you already have a nostril full of it.
I'm gonna hold my paw to my face and mutter, "Oh, my blue eye!"
Shh.
Meanwhile, Tara, you can see a patrol that's just coming to the front of past the buildings right before the windbreak. They'll probably make it to the outpost within the next few minutes walking by. Naturally, Snarls, you can see the same, though you can also see that the lights are on. Well, the southernmost building, as well as a heady smell of food stuff.
Snarls still behind the wind, well, slightly peeking out the windbreaker to see, would say to the others, "There seems to be people in there as well. But also, you see that building near the big box on wheels?
Excuse me, nod.
Earlier when I looked into the Umbra and I saw those Banes, I saw that one or two also would sometimes go around there. We should avoid that place. At least if we can."
Like, zoinks, man, I can't see anything.
Tara would look back at that Dave and motion for him to keep his voice down. And then she says, when that patrol moves, we should move along the other side of the windbreak. The buildings have labels on them. That one is the mess hall, and the other one over there is a storage shed and dormitory. If we move up that way, maybe we can see what the other building is.
From my angle, would I be able to tell, Ned?
Tell what?
Like, what they are?
Perception alert. This is mostly to see how much English you can remember reading.
No.
Goddamn ape tongue. Why can't they just mark things with their scent? Dave, the moment you poke your head up to try and read, gusts of snow and wind pick up from the blizzard again, and you can mostly see the edges of the buildings rather than the buildings themselves. It's beneficial in that it's hard for people to see you, but it's also annoying that you can't see 10 feet in front of your face.
Gaia did not bless me with winter vision.
Hey, Snarls, can you see any other patrols?
Snarls would not make a sound, but he would back away, whispering to the others, "Get back now."
Tara does so.
Dave does so.
Snarls would move backwards, closer to the... You see the part where the wind upper thingy starts to go vertically up. He would stop just before it starts going up, so he's still slightly covered on the back a little bit. And then would say to the others, yeah, Clara, you know how you were talking about Aaron's dream?
She looks at you.
They're here.
What did you see?
Third room up from the bottom, Black Spiral just exited.
Which way are they going?
It was going past the satellite dish.
So then are we clear to move?
Snarls would say, we can go now because they must have gone past. There'll be another one coming soon, but it means that there are virals, so we should be expecting more. Be very careful.
Lead the way. We need to find where these computers are.
I mean, I think it should be the one closest to the top. He would stop at back, being very careful, keeping a close eye around him, looking at all the houses and everything very attentively.
Tara follows after Snarls, and she is on high alert.
Meanwhile, D, Darren. You've already begun your descent and are partially the way down. What is the plan the two of you are concocting as you proceed downward? At a somewhat easier descent than the others had, though still fairly precarious, meaning Dex and Athletic.
Plan is to... Since we couldn't see the... Oh, real quick, would my reflexes be enough to catch that guy?
To what? Considering your role, yeah, as D is about to make a very steep tumble, you put your hand, well, rather, your paw out, and as big as you are, it doesn't take much more than that to press him against the edge of the ridge, his head stroking the underside of one of the outcroppings, which is fairly pointed and made of stone. Not exactly comfortable to feel against your fur or your noggin, but at least you didn't go tumbling.
Thanks, brother.
Just nods. So to answer your question, plan is to, since we couldn't identify a security building, check out that building that the lorries parked outside of, especially since the others seem to have been going towards the windbreak. It's better to divide and conquer. Or at least, if one group is going somewhere, the distraction has to be in another place. So yeah, going down the ridge safely, following what D wants to be the lead, and yeah, looking in that lorry building.
The two of you finish your descent and find yourselves before a fairly rough terrain with sparsely divvied out trees with sharp, jagged bits of fallen stone and rock from the ridge's edge. It doesn't inspire a very comfortable place. Rather than shrubs, you have large rocks and boulders lined around.
He's leading the charge. Bouncing between the rocks, the trees, and sticking decently close to the rock face to stay away from the patrol route.
Are you going southward or northward?
Southward.
Alright. Both of you roll a dex and stealth. The two of you proceed at a slow, steady pace, moving through the snow, practically passing over it unseen. Your furry, four-legged forms make it a simple matter to move through the snow. Weaving through trees and large rocks, you come fairly close to the edge of one of the outposts, where you can see two men sat, one smoking a cigarette, the other popping a couple of pills in his mouth and washing it down with a swig of coffee. That smells distinctively of liquor. When he puts it down, you can see his tongue licks his lips to get the last droplet, the tongue large, discolored gray, with little barbs running along the edges.
Do I have any idea what that thing could be?
Starts with F.
I try and mouth with my wolfish lips for Maury.
D gives a knowing nod.
God, I wanna kill that thing, but I know I shouldn't.
Worst part is these guys ain't unarmed either. They are packing heavy duty. You start a fight, they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
And for the record, in the event you are curious, these guards are packing SA-80s.
Oh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I love my 7.62.
Oh, goat, it's silver!
Though you can see that some of the patrols are packing slightly different weaponry, all assault rifles.
How many are in that post? 2, 3?
2. And that's not including the ones that are currently patrolling.
And they're coming towards us, yeah?
The 2 in the outpost are fine, and yes, they are coming towards you. They have it set up so that no matter what, one of the 5 is closing the gap where the others lift open shortly after.
If we made our way towards the windbreak is solid, right?
Yep.
So if we were trying to get around it by going mine side of the windbreak, we'd be seen by the outpost guys.
Very likely, unless you manage to just be absolute godly and either creeping by or being clever.
Could make a noise in the trees, but that might attract too much attention too early.
Darren looks at D, then nudges his head towards the back of the windbreak so they could circle round. And forcefully to demonstrate, let's go quicker.
D starts trotting along.
I follow along, being as stealthy as I can, because I don't want anyone to see us. Also trying to hide D, since he will stick out more than I will.
Yeah. So you're probably on the inside, I'm on the outside?
Yeah.
Both of you manage to make it to the windbreaker without being discovered. As you begin to creep northward so you can make your way around, you're forced to stop and wait for the next batch of guards to go by. Each of them carrying Steyr AUG assault rifles, their heavy-duty gear more befitting of a SWAT team than mine security.
He's gonna duck down and look over his shoulder, and then look over to Darren. They might not be here. I'd be hearing some shit. And I know for a fact it ain't my actual dad. Keep your guard up.
Darren's face hardens even more than it was, and he nods solemnly. His hackles are raised.
With that, once the patrol passes, D's going to try and stick to the edge of the windbreak on the inside of the camp this time. Follow along its back until we hit the that little square shack, and then go around that and take the alleyway up to the satellite.
Darren following.
Yep, covering him.
Excellent stealth, boys. The two of you make it away the round, narrowly avoiding the guards. Darren just swishing around the edge, his tail smacking the windbreak, which shakes a little bit. It having a somewhat green mesh underneath all that snow shakes some of it loose a little. You very quickly pick up the pace as one of the guards pauses, looking over your shoulder. As you make your way into the little alley towards the satellite, you can see that his head turned around like an owl's, a full 180 degrees, before he cracks it back forward and keeps walking.
He's gonna look over his shoulder to Darren, then shiver, and then look back forward.
Darren's fangs are just bared in all his jowls.
Once across the way to the satellite, D's gonna get low to the ground and poke his head out a little bit, looking right, because that's where he's guessing the others are.
There's a couple of men. They seem to be trudging out of the southern building. And your father is in fact among them. He looks absolutely haggard. His eyes are sunken. He looks tired. His hands are blistered as he's shoving a cigarette into his mouth. Whoever these people are, sadly, you know, they've been working him like a dog.
Darren, paws up towards D and nudges him with his nose. Hey, did you say something about your dad earlier?
Yeah, that black guy? That's my stepdad.
Gonna see him?
Yeah, you can see him pretty easily. You can also see the massive motherfucker starting to come up behind the group. You can't quite make him out yet. In the blizzard, it's too far away, but there is an absolutely huge motherfucker moving behind them, carrying something that smells of meat and food.
Your dad works for Pentex.
Didn't know. This bastard works for him. I ain't batting an eye at taking him out.
Hang on.
Fucker does odd
Hang on.
jobs.
How did you... Is that some kind of gift you had? You heard him or something from over there?
Nah, I just know this man. I know his voice. Be hearing shit and knowing shit. Bastard likes to walk around, likes to do odd jobs. Wouldn't be surprised if my family moved up to here.
I didn't hear anything. I don't trust this place, D. There's worm all over here.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm not weighing it out of the equation here. Either way, he going down. I ain't got an attachment to that man. Bastard ain't even kinfolk.
Don't get attached to your enemies either. Don't focus too hard. You'll get blinded by the one on your side. Don't get choked up by Yorman.
Don't you worry. I got my head on my shoulders. I've been dealing with this stuff for a while. I got this.
Darren nods his wolfish head.
He's gonna wait for the people moving from the south to pass by so we can move around the back of the radar to go to the truck building.
Pentex and stealth you two. Well, D, you immediately slide underneath one of the buildings. They're elevated ever so slightly off the ground, making it a more or less safe hiding spot. It is tight and cramped as all hell, though, especially as you can hear footsteps going inside of the one you're under. Darren, you are a bit on the big side to hide there, so you go towards the steps of the other one. You can't hide there. You're missing anywhere you can possibly hope to fucking hide. Just as the big fucking shadow of a man that you saw before begins to come around the corner, you have the bad feeling that you're about to get seen and it's all going to be over. When the door to the one to your left opens, blocking you from sight just narrowly, and you can hear another voice going, "What the hell's taking you so long?" You can hear the heavy footsteps. D can see the massive legs of the son of a bitch as he gets closer. I report from North Bay. Pups to the south. She's not going to be happy about this. No, she's not. When Azera gets back tomorrow, we'll tell her. Until then, organize something for Maury, send them out. Take care of the pups. And why should I? Because I'm in charge. Until Azera gets back. Fuck off. Get out of my way. You hear them both go inside, the door close.
I tried to find better cover.
Dave, Snarls, Tara, you are in the northernmost, on the left-hand side, building, which is the office. Though it's maybe incorrect to call it an office, as instead it's a trailer which has been permanently in place. It could easily be hooked up to the back of a truck and moved at a moment's notice. Inside of it is a single computer resting on a fairly cheap, easy transportable desk made of metal, bolted to the ground. A few boxes line some of the sides. 2 monitors on either side, as well as a server bank to the left. Floppy disks rest all along the side of the desk, as well as the screen, which is currently just showing the Rend Enterprises logo spinning slowly in place.
Question, Nyland. How heavy does this server look?
Heavier than you can carry.
Shit. Even in Krynos?
You really don't want to go Krynos right now.
Okay, are there any like windows into this place?
Nope.
Can I sniff to see if I smell anything that doesn't smell like it's part of the building?
The server bank does stand out. Not being normal. It seems too cold. And you don't feel the sort of presence of the Weaver emanate from it.
Smells clearly sniffing would say. That box glass screen thing. I must say I don't deal with them much, but there doesn't seem to be any. I don't know, it seems cold. Like there's no Weaver spider spirit kind of thing coming from it.
Mm-hmm. Out of character, like going into this building, there were like no cameras or alarms or anything.
Thankfully, no.
And in this room, nothing?
There is a camera facing the computer.
Okay, then what's the... There's a camera facing the computer.
Yeah.
What would that camera be hooked up to if not the computer?
Exactly.
Oh no.
Can I tell?
It is hooked up to the computer.
So it's gonna watch whoever goes to the computer. Can we, like, is there like a, I don't know, some
Hold on.
wire we could cut?
Quite easily. Or you could just unplug the wire from the back of it.
Or do that?
Dave's already moving to do that.
Okay, cool.
He gets the basic gist.
Cool.
Snarls, while he does that, would keep almost investigating the room to see if anything's off. Perhaps something is a trap or something's watching him.
Alright then. So, Dave, get to work. Snarls, let us keep a lookout. Let us know if anyone comes close.
I walk up, grab the plug on the camera, and then walk over to the thing and say, give me about 10, 15.
From what you've gathered, the mine has produced hardly any yellow cake in the past 6 months.
You said there's floppy disks nearby?
Yes.
I'm going to grab one and insert it into the thing and start, I'm going to see if there's anything on this floppy disk before I start downloading stuff onto it.
Nah, nothing of use.
How much information can I get from... I'm going to have to roll again, aren't I?
If you want to find more info, yeah, you're going to have to roll again, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to use a willpower.
You are finding nothing as you spend half an hour clicking away, the sound becoming a monotonous constant for both Tara and Snarls.
I mutter to myself, Weaver, help me. Jesus. Gaia, fuck Christ.
Meanwhile, D and Darren, you are forced to make yourself back towards the sheds, or rather the outcropping buildings. You come across a small shed, which upon managing to get a gauge for, it's definitely alarmed, definitely locked, heavily secured, more so than most of the other buildings here. Suggesting there's something in there of value. Meanwhile, Snarls, that sixth sense of yours hasn't quite triggered, but you've had a couple of close calls. You've been able to hear and even smell things wandering around outside. You're getting very uncomfortable, and you don't know how much longer your luck is going to last. Dave, do you want to try rolling one more time?
Yes. I look to Tara and whisper, get over here.
Tara comes over. Well, she's been kind of watching over your shoulder the entire time.
I run my hand over my face and whisper as quietly as possible. I'm gonna give it one more try. If I don't get anything, we need to get out, take a little break, come back later.
We're gonna find what we came for.
Next half hour, you actually managed to find some very interesting things. For one, Brand Enterprises was recently taken over by the Draco Holding Company Limited, which is a Pentex subsidiary. For two, 6 months ago, personnel were laid off at the site manager vanished. The home office of Brand Enterprises has still been trying to search for them. And lastly, you find a diary entry from Azera, a black spiral dancer whose dream is finding the 5 talons of the worm, whom she believes she is destined to awaken. And lastly, there is an electronic mail letter outlining the deal between the Black Spiral Dancers of Manhattan to Azera for the deaths of the Wendigo pups.
I point to the screen and then offer a high five.
Tara's giving a wide smile, but she doesn't want a high five just in case it's too loud.
He's going to hold it out for a second, then slowly retract it and say, "Way to keep your brother hanging. Let's go." Okay. How long is it going to take to download this information?
Dex and computer. Meanwhile, Darren D, are you going to try to get into that shed or poke around a little?
Are there any
I want to
windows?
see what the fuck in that shed.
Are there any windows?
Nope. This thing is barred up tightly.
Car.
Damn it.
Um,
Okay, you said all of the buildings, they're all raised off the ground, right?
Slightly. This one is the only one firmly planted.
Fuck! God damn.
Nylan, can I get a map, site? Can I get a designation for all the buildings? I look over to Tara and say, "It seems to be a mess hall or supply. Let's see, we're here. I don't see any armory. Maybe the storage shed?"
We got what we came for. Let's not risk any longer.
Of course.
Snarls.
Oh no.
Dangerous.
Let's go.
Something's coming.
How close?
You have maybe 60 seconds to hide or get ready.
Eyes would start twitching and he starts growling and would say, "Guys, there's something coming. We need to go now." And he would gesture to the back wall, shifting into Hispo.
Do you know what it is? No. You are not punching through that wall.
You immediately see as Snarls making his way to the end of the trailer office has morphed into the massive dire wolf of the Garu.
Wait. I call out,
No time. Let's go.
You see,
Umber!
I would try to, tear through it and gesture to the others to kind of get on his back.
Is the floppy disk done?
Yep.
Oh, shit! I'm grabbing it and then I'm doing what he says.
As the two of you run to Snarls, leaping onto his back as he crunches some of the wall, the door is thrown open as 3 men with assault rifles burst into the room. The one in the back immediately says, "What flank?" Snarls! Stamina athletics, my boy. Meanwhile, Darren, Prince, you are definitely hearing the gunfire that's going to happen in a few seconds.
So
He's gonna look to Darren as if fucking break shit.
You begin to run. Everyone hears immediately as 3 assault rifles open fire. The moment you are outside Snarls, 2 other men are waiting by the northern edge of the windbreak and begin firing on you. 2 shots, one lodging itself back of your right hind leg, the other one penetrating your ribs, rip through your guts, and a burn seeps throughout your entire body as the silver sadly takes hold. Snarls, you're pretty much propped against the side of the fucking windbreak, blood seeping from your wounds as the Fomori team begin moving to close in. Darren D, what are y'all doing?
I want to set off the alarm. Can I, bust it at all without breaking into that building? Because I don't know what's locked in there and we need to get out. I will be the Arun of my pack. I'm going to run in the direction of the fire and help out my pack.
D?
D's shifting into Krynos, and he's gonna bust into the fucking into the shed. I want to see what's in there.
All right. Darren, as you shift into Krynos and smash your fist against the door, it bends audibly inward. The alarm begins springing as you rush forward, leaping over Snarls and into the midst of the gunmen. Meanwhile, D, at that point, it's as simple as grab the door. I'm not even going to make you fucking roll. And wrench it off as you see you're looking into an armory.
Yes!
Wall-to-wall shotguns, assault rifles, a few silver bullets, hand grenades, incendiary grenades, and what is at least one crate of dynamite.
Not enough to blow the mine, but I have some ideas. Is there a bandolier in here? I want to get every single incendiary grenade I can possibly get my hands on. Then I want to systematically go to every building in the site and toss flame grenades in.
There isn't a bandolier, but you can start grabbing.
I have big ass paws. I'm a big ass wolf, so. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this too. In one hand, I'm gonna grab a nice handful of incendiary grenades, and in the other, I'm gonna grab a shotgun. Give it a nice rack. See if there's anything in there.
No.
All right. Does the shotgun have a sling?
Well, it is a Spaz 12, so yes.
All right, slinging the shotgun over my shoulder, and I'm grabbing a box of shotgun shells, and then I'm out of that hoe. As I turn around, going to reach down and pull the pin on one of the incendiary grenades with my teeth, and then yeet it into the armory.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Would he
Snarls,
survive
I need to make Dex and athletics. Darren, 2 gunmen to the front of you, 3 inside of the remains of the office to your right.
Out of character, which way does it look like will get us the fastest out of there?
Through those guys.
If you go south, odds are you're going to run into black spirals. So, it would be either through the windbreak, which is not going to be easy, especially for Snarls who's harmed, or you hijack a truck.
Oh, yeah, we're stealing a truck, baby.
Okay, so we're gonna go hijack that truck, yeah?
Maybe.
If that's the plan, y'all are the ones who have to coordinate in character.
Yeah, I'm using a point of willpower for an auto success.
Okay, so it's either towards the windbreak and after there where? Where does it look like?
Well, as you make it to the windbreak, you can see as Darren is behind you, his talons spread, a snarl rumbling up from underneath him. Ahead of you, you see a black shape rushing away before this shed, which you were looking at, explodes. Bullets whizzing as they pop and are set off by the explosion. More explosions carrying on the explosion, carrying into a micro mushroom cloud as snow is blasted away. A hail of bullets spreading in every direction from the force. It does fortunately blast a massive hole in the windbreak.
Okay, I'm probably going to shift into Krynos to be able to help Snarls and carry him, then go hijack a truck.
Are you spending rage to do this automatically, or?
Yes.
Alright. Meanwhile, Darren, 5 opponents. One angry Naru.
Is it the big one or the little one? Oh, that's me.
Yes.
Yes! Right. I'm going to, spend 1 rage to, claw the guys in front of me, spend another rage to dash and claw, trying to make it one swift movement. Yeah, so after I slash the first guys, slash the second guys, I'm gonna book it.
Where?
Through the hole
No
in
shit.
that D made. So I,
So you're going in through there to attack them, then probably out the other side in the new one. But that's fine.
Yes, it is.
Go ahead and roll your dex and brawl. Moving so fast that the men hardly have time to adjust their aim up. You close the distance between the one nearest, sweeping your claws, taking his head clean from his shoulders. For a moment, the vestigial flesh on his neck wriggles like worms poking out of the dirt, trying to find the head to reattach it before it starts sealing itself, the body falling to its knees, shooting blindly at the ground. You've already turned and leapt through the hole left by Snarls. Dex and brawl. As you barrel towards the next three men, they open fire. You catch 5 shots, 2 of which burrow into your flesh, the others bouncing off of your body, but those 2 are enough as you hit across the left-hand wall, trying to just stay on your feet, blood leaking from your chest, 1 narrowly missing your heart. 6-ag. You can try to flee, but fuck, are you gonna be feeling it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and flee.
Strength athletics, you're gonna have to punch a hole through the wall.
Yeah. At full dice pool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Screw you, crippled.
As you rush forward, you knock the men aside like bowling pins. One slams into the computer, the other hits the wall, the other's fallen under as you feel your foot crack his ankle. You barrel into the wall, smashing through it, rolling through the snow as you try to get back on your feet. Meanwhile, you hear the first as D is going ham with hand grenades before you hear a loud roar from another Garu. The black spirals have shown up. And D, you blew up the nearest building, and now they're walking out of it, pissed off.
Ah, perfect. Well, I'm moving around to the mess hall to toss a fucking nade in there. Unless the black spirals see me. Do they see me?
Oh, they're coming for you, my man.
Oh, they're coming directly towards me? Okay, that's great. I'm going to pull the entire bundle of hand grenades in my hand, and I'm going to pull every single pin I can, then toss them towards them.
Dex and athletics. Cinching your talons around the pins, you manage to pull 1 for talon and fling them in the direction of the black spirals. They erupt in air. Flames leave the air in front of you, as well as the 2 dormitories. Screams of panic are coming out, and you can hear one of the spirals falling back, snarling. Next thing you know, 3 of them burst through the flames coming for you. One is the massive motherfucker from earlier. Behind him, dragging his clave, it reaps through the ground, cleaving an open path like the Red fucking Sea parting from Moses.
Oh, it's time to fucking run, baby.
No shit! Stamina and athletics. One of the black spirals lunges over you, missing you by a hair. The next one, sweeping with a clave, narrowly slices open your back. It's the big motherfucker that you can't seem to lose track of. On all 4s, you can hear him getting louder as he's closing up on you. Well, you can hear the whistle of the air, meaning that clave is about to come down. That's athletics. You feel a sharp, hot sensation strike the side of your head. before you realize you are gone partially deaf. A streak of blood running down the entire right side of your face like war paint, dripping onto your flesh as you begin to push yourself to keep running, feeling the side of your head to see how bad it is. Your entire right ear has been cleaved off.
Better than my head. Better than my head. Oh, all right. I'm fucking booking it to the car now.
Where are we currently?
Yeah, with them drawing all of the attention, are we able to safely get
You
like
are safely
Dave
able to get to the massive truck.
with Snarls?
We'll open the door and shove Snarls in, probably a little uncomfortably.
The Snarls, while in Tara's arms to make it easier on her, would have reverted into lupus and started looking up at the moon and praying to Gaia. Snarls would be praying, he would also be praying for Gnosis.
Roll your Gnosis. Let's see what happens. Holy shit.
That's my best roll so far.
Well, as you're all getting into the truck, another team of the Fomori coming, the blizzard swirling around them as they take aim, laser dots resting on you. The blizzard suddenly sweeps upward, a gale force wind, knocking them off of their feet and rolling around in the snow, one toppling off the edge of the mine.
Am I gonna have to roll anything to get this thing going?
No, thankfully. You just have to lift the frickin' overhead and grab the cleats that fall out.
Oh, thank Jesus.
Meanwhile, Darren, as you push yourself to your feet and proceed to run, you can see D has got a motherfucker hot on his ass, easily twice your size. And behind you, you have another scrawnier black spiral barreling towards you. His hands outstretched to either side, raking them against the metal walls of the dormitories and the office, sharpening them, as you all know too well.
Alright, I'm going to insta-change into Hispo, run towards D, jump, try to run over the, Garu chasing him, jump on him and jump off him. Oh, can I use spur claws if I'm in Hispo?
Yeah.
Using my spur claws and leaping off of him, so digging what talons I have into him and running with D in Hispo, whilst before that praying to my ancestors to make everything better again.
Pretty much, but what is it you are going to ask of your ancestors?
Call on the Great Wolf. I'm going to make him proud.
D, as you are running, you can see Darren barreling towards you, coming to your aid. As you can see the truck's plume of smoke as it starts up, getting ready to pull. Still hear the massive fucker behind you giving chase. And that's when you hear this enormous roar as Darren has once again changed forms into Krynos. The big motherfucker turning to face him just sees hands as they clash. Darren knocking him to the ground, pulling his wrists together and lifting him up overhead, smacking the other black spiral with him. They both go tumbling through the snow as Darren roars out to them, challenging them in the high tongue. Come on. Is that the best you bastards can do after 200 years?
Who's driving? You said D's driving?
No. Tara's driving.
Who gave her the wheel?
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, D, what are you doing as you see your friends trying to boom boom right by?
Well, that's the question, because you don't leave a pack member behind. But at the same
Run, bitch!
Yeah, but at the same time, run, bitch, run. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. So I heard him challenge in the high tongue, so that I'm gonna probably take a wild guess as D here and say that yeah, his ancestors taken over. Said something about 200 years, so he's experienced. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna aid him. Don't leave a pack member behind. If the litany's taught me anything, it's at least that.
My guy, you are being possessed by your ancestor, Harold One Man.
Yes!
So, you see black spirals closing in, Darren, or rather Harold's claws stretching as he readies for the fight. The truck is pulling around the yellow cake storage. What's D's plan here? Darren, don't worry so much. Harold's got this, you hope.
Yes, I trust my ancestors.
Alright, the plan is to provide aid because, yeah, there's a 200-year-old ancestor in him. So whenever somebody gets flung in D's direction, he's going to pounce and finish that fucker off.
You know what? Preemptively, make a dex and brawl. Meanwhile, Tara, as you are pulling around the edge of the yellow cake storage, lightly smashing some of the wall with the heavy truck, you can see Darren and D about to face down some black spirals.
How many black spirals are on them?
Oh! 6.
6! Fuck. This truck does not have enough maneuverability to try and, run over the black spirals, does it?
It could. Hell, the swerving trailer might even act as a battering ram in the background.
Cool, I'll do that.
Dex and drive.
Are there any Fomori or people with guns left?
Plenty, but they have to make it towards you, which they will soon. Don't worry. As the black spirals rush to close the distance, one pouncing with bat-like ears and massive drooling fangs for D, trying to step in to catch the fucker before he hits Darren's back, is knocked straight to the ground, rolling with the spiral, who's standing on top of him, holds him down as he begins smiling widely, the green mucus dripping onto your chest, singeing your fur. Oh, fuck. Meanwhile, Darren and the outer rune of the black spirals collide. And when I say they collide, the force of impact brushes snow from the ground. The Arun slicing forward with the clave, Darren shoving the wrist down, sweeping his claws up into the black spiral's throat, the spur claws disconnecting as the black spiral begins to move back. Darren twisting the wrist forward and to the left, pulling free the clave, which then, backhanded, swings up and down to the right, cleaving the head of the other black spiral, closing the distance, giving him a scar from right side to left side of his face vertically. At which point, as the other black spirals converge, Tara drives in, knocking one flat under the truck with a heavy boom. The next one leaps to the side, whipping the truck with his claws, raking open the door, pulling it clean off, exposing Tara to the element. But not much more than that. The trailer then nearly knocks his ass completely over, whirling around, it disconnects, coming free, smashing one of the dormitories flat before rolling over 3 of the Fomori guards coming in. Turning around still, it bashes open the corner of the yellow stuff cake storage, spilling out the radioactive materials as she begins to make her way in another sharp turn around.
Boys, you better come in.
Can I lean out the passenger side of the truck and try to offer my hand?
Sure.
Get in here!
Is the black spiral still on top of me?
Well, yes, though he did take a moment to pause, his head bending a little bit as his ears pick up the sound of the they kind of fold against his head, as you can imagine with echolocation. That fucking hurts!
Oh, so he's not paying attention to me right now. In that case, I'm going to reach up, grab him, and then roll him over to the side, claws digging in to give him nice scratches when he gets tossed to the side.
Strength and brawl. Sinking those claws into his shoulders, he snarls, and you roll over, pinning him to the ground. As you rake the claws back, holding your hand out for Dave, you clasp his hand with your massive Krynos clawed hand. Just as you begin to get pulled up towards the truck, the spiral kicks out, knocking your body wholehearted against the side of the truck. So much so that the exhaust on the right-hand side dents violently inward, making it bend like a half T.
Can I use, I'm going to use Galbro. I'm going to use her point range to instantly swap over so I can hold on to her.
All right. Strength, athletics for you, Dave, and D, stamina.
Nylon.
Yes.
From where I am I close to any of the guards that were carrying the rifles?
Oh, 1 second. Hold on.
There are some coming that are going to be on the other side of the yellow cake storage in a couple of minutes.
I mean like the ones that... Pardon me. When I drove the truck, it knocked a couple down, yeah? Are any of them within, like, if I lean out the door within arm's reach?
From a tractor trailer, that's a ballsy fucking move. Possible, but if you fail, you're going over the edge into the mine. How ballsy we feeling? Are you feeling lucky, punk?
I mean, if I succeed, I can try and pelt one of the black spirals full of silver bullets.
Potentially.
If you fail, you kill us all.
What's my role?
Meanwhile, D, that stings, but you've had worse. Oh. However, Dave holds on to you for dear life. Changed into the Gowl world, he looks like a wolfman out of cinemas. As he refuses to let you go, pulling you forward with his canines peeking out from between his lips. Putting your feet on the steering wheel, you change to Hamid, and even though you're buck bare, your toes pulling on the wheel to turn you, you bend over backward, hands overhead, leaning completely with your upper body out, sweeping up one of the rifles. The guy holding it tries to hold on, but the force of the truck pulling not only wrenches it out of his hand, but tears off his trigger finger as you lurch back into the truck. Gun in one hand, steering wheel in the other, your ancestor in the mirror laughing his fucking ass off.
Okay, who's in the truck?
Everyone but Darren, who is currently engaged with the Arun, who is starting to beat his fucking ass.
I chuck the gun to Dave, and while I bring the truck around, I tell him to shoot at the fucking thing.
Dave, how do you proceed?
One question.
Oh.
Does trick shot apply?
That depends if you use it.
Snarls would semi-praying, semi-trying to communicate with the spirits of the blizzard. In an almost very praying, very desperate way, ask them to... He would phrase it almost as mask the vision of the black spirals.
As Darren and the spiral battle back and forth, the spiral knocking him back, flashing at his chest. The crazed ancestor spins the clave ready for a maneuver of some deranged sort, only for it to get hit by the heavy rifle round. It piercing the blade forward, traveling up along the blade with its path, right into the black spiral, who staggers back as the silver bullet goes dead into his chest right before the clave follows. It pierces through his ribs and out the back. The spiral, snarling, grabs Darren's wrist, jerks him forward, and headbutts him off. At which point, Darren, falling backward in a daze, actually falling back into himself, hand hits the truck as by some sheer fucking goodwill manages to hold on just enough that he's wrenched along with the truck for the village. Nobody's falling in behind the vehicle.
Was there no way I could have grabbed the clave with my other hand?
You know what? If you really want to fucking try it, I will allow you to make a Dex and Athletics at a difficulty 9.
Give me just please 1 sec while I pray to Gaia.
Snatching the very butt of the clave, you grab it with your talons interlocking around it as it jerks forward. The black spiral snatching hold the blade itself as it slices his palm. The force of the drop pulling the two of you apart, testing who has more strength. Your talons pop off the hilt of the blade, yet the blade itself remains with the spiral. Too strong to be overcome easily. With that, intermission. I will say, I'm going to make one quick roll for the pursuers. Tara, please make a quick Dex and Drive roll, please.
Let the 15-year-old girl drive, bro, for real.
Y'all managed to make it pretty fucking far with the pursuers on your ass. However, between popping out the tires and being forced to go off-road rather than go careening into the village, which would not be good, you end up ditching your pursuers, one smashing into a tree, face first, the other losing you. And as all of you attempt to get out and flee, you unknowingly, before you realize what has happened, come across a large gentleman who's very friendly, inviting you back to his cabin. His name is Bill, son of Bear. And that's where we will leave it off for today. As you accept the invitation of the Guru.
I fucking knew there was one here! Let's go!